Hi, I'm Adrian. One of the things that people are often confused about is MVPs. So I thought I'd put a bit of an explainer video together to just explain what are they really, do they matter to you, and how could you go about creating one? Well, first the history bit. So in 2001, Frank Robinson defined the term MVP. But it's fair to say that it wasn't too widely picked up back in 2001. And in 2008, Eric Ries redefined the term in his book, The Lean Startup. And this is where the evolution of the idea started, or maybe you could say the confusion started. Frank was talking about a product that you could sell to customers, but Eric took things a step further and said that to really reduce waste, we need to focus on providing validated learning as cheaply and as early as possible. And for him, this could be through a series of prototypes or the output of some interviews. However, the key thing is that we want to assume nothing, spend a little, learn a lot. We want to avoid building based on assumptions. So how do we go about this? The first thing that we want to do is to identify our potential customers, to understand the people that we're working to solve a problem for. When we've done that, we want to observe them in their situation, to understand their actions. So what they're doing, not just what they tell us they're doing. When we've done that, we can list out all of the jobs that they're doing, all of their pains, their challenges, and we can think about how a potential solution could address those. And we can map out a business model that could solve their problem for a realistic price point. When we have our business models, we can rank those as opportunities. So we could think about who has the biggest problem, who can we get access to easily, and what's the size of the market. That will allow us to come up with our first view of our likely customers. So who are the people that we're going to engage with as early adopters, and who are we likely to engage with later on? Now that we've got an idea about our customer segments and the problems people are having, we can start to formulate ideas. To do this, we really want to speak to our customers, have a real conversation and get out of the building to dive into what their problems could be. We want to dig in and listen deeply to the challenges that they're experiencing. The best way to do this is to create an interview script. When we're doing this, open questions and clean language are going to be our guides. We'll use empathy and curiosity to really dig in to understand the challenges that our potential customers are experiencing with their current solutions. This isn't the time for us to pitch our ideas to them, we're not interested in hypothetical situations. We're interested in really digging into those actual problems. With all of this information, we can then take our business models, take our ideas, take our potential price points to our team and map out the risky assumptions in our business plans so that we can identify what is it that we need to test with a minimum viable product. This is when we can start to come up with the first view of a solution, which we then take back to the customers to see it fits into their lives. And this is the solution interview. And it's when we can start to make a deal that says, okay, if we make a solution that looks like this, would you be prepared to sign up for X price? And this helps us validate whether our solution is meeting our customer need. After we've validated the problems and mapped out potential solutions, we take all of this input, all of the business models, all of our assumptions, all of our conversations, and we feed this into our MVP machine, or the team, so that we can create our MVPs. We might create a mechanical Turk, which has a digital front end and manual processing at the back, or maybe a paper prototype. We could even create a 3D printed model. Your MVP can be whatever's useful in your situation to test and learn cheaply and quickly. We then re-engage with our customer and take our MVP to them to check if this has validated the assumptions in our business model. So we test, we measure the responses, we see if we get the traction that we think we're going to, and we see if there's the engagement that we anticipate. We build just enough to test our assumptions. Using this data, rather than guesswork, we decide whether to pivot or persevere. Are we going to cut our losses, or go after a different customer segment or a different feature set, or are we going to persevere with our current ideas because they're gaining the traction that we thought they would? So that's about it for MVPs, apart from a few parting thoughts to summarise. Firstly, maybe it doesn't really matter what definition you choose, as long as it's consistent across your team and your organisation. Maybe you'll prefer to use minimum lovable product or something else. I'd suggest you start with a conversation, agree the principles, and then worry about the terminology later on, or maybe never. Next, spend like you don't have any money. Work quickly to validate your hypothesis with data. And remember, teams make the difference. Build diverse, autonomous, motivated and responsible teams. Give them the skills and space they need to get the job done, and trust them. Get out of the building, really. Engage with your customers. Don't take any excuses on this one. And stay open-minded and curious. Whatever your first ideas are, they'll probably be wrong, or at least improvable with data. So, good luck. And if you'd like to discuss any of these thoughts, or you have any feedback for me, then let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thanks very much, and have a great day.